live on Instagram. So this I'm going to be having Mr. Tony to join us, and we will be speaking on embracing the process. So we're going to send him the link now, and then we're going to go straight up to the point. Okay, thank you very much for joining. So we're starting now, and then okay so okay, very good. So we're waiting for Mr. Tony, and then he's going to join us now, and then we'll begin. Yeah, bro, thank you very much for joining. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us. Okay, we're going to start now. Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes, so
is it good evening, sir? Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm doing well. Thank you very, very much for accepting my invitation. I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
Very, very much. Very, very much. Okay, so I'm just briefly going to introduce. You say?
Can you hear me
yes,
very
I can
well?
hear you.
Can you hear me very well?
Yes, I can.
All
so
right.
I'm briefly going to just introduce Mr. Tony, and then he's going to take the floor. So we quickly want to make this brief so that we have young people watching this. It's going to last within 30 minutes, so young people can also watch it. So Mr. Tony, I met Mr. Tony on LinkedIn, and then since then I've really been impressed. Every time I speak to him, I learn something new. So I said, no, we must have Tony speak on this topic. So it's very important. So thank you very much, Mr. Tony, for accepting my invitation. This is Mr. Tony.
All right. Thank you, Miracle. I think your consistency within the short time I noticed you on LinkedIn, and also your persistence. Really, I've had people who try to engage me on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is my most active social media platform. So almost every day I see people engage me but yours was actually different. So I had to open up that relationship. That's a good one. Please keep it up. So not wasting time, we have to start. For those of us who watch this broadcast, I'm sure you will learn one or two things from it. I'll make it brief because over time I've seen a presentation that happens digitally or virtually, the more concise, the better. Do you get? So that people just take what they need from it, except one that you are streaming via YouTube and all of that. So that's that. We'll be looking at embracing the process. Embracing the process. I know a lot of people will be asking one question: what is the process? Do you understand? What is the process? Wow. The process. I captured here there's the process is a part of a universal order. You know, for everything we do in life, whether we are born, we are building something, we are whatever venture we find ourselves, whether in life, in career, there is a defined or definite process. Some we may not grab it in full. Maybe each generation will try to understand it. then the next generation will redefine it. Whatever thing we may have experienced now, the generation after us will add a twist to it in one way or the other. However, there are some elements of predictable patterns that if we strictly follow as individuals, we will arrive at whatever thing we are aiming at. Let's take, for instance, the butterfly. You know, we look at, if it's a classic example of what we'll be looking at, you look at the metamorphosis of a butterfly, the different stages. It's a process. You look at the egg is laid, you're looking at this egg, so what is this egg? It enters the larva stage. You look at the larva stage, what's this larva stage? I can even kick it out, I can even burn it. It enters the pupa stage. The pupa stage, you'll be wondering and say, the pupa stage, what is it? I can kick this stuff. There is no desired thing or element from the egg to the larva to the pupa, but within the shortest time, there is always a miracle that happens. Yes, I use the word a miracle that happens. You know, the only way to create miracle, I would say, I think I captured it in part of this play, is to follow the path that will lead you to that miracle. You know, you look at some of us, we want the end product. Everybody wants that. Nobody wants to suffer. We want the end product like, we want it like you finish university, you're already there. Like someone says, enjoying money is better when you are young. Yes. But if we really want to, there are several steps we need to take. Yes, we can shorten the curve of our process. But the point is this: if we follow that process and hasten or accelerate our step, we can quickly enter the miraculous stage of the butterfly. Now, without the process, you see someone that, I want to become a doctor. Let me use a career process, for instance. I want to become a doctor. You don't just wake up one day, no matter how brilliant you were in your biology class and all of that, and say, hey, I'm qualified. You enter the stages, grooming, training, and all of that until the time that you will pass the tests. You understand? So the process, as it were, are times in life when we are built as individuals to becoming the ultimate design of our heart desire. That's one. The process also is a pattern that will lead us to becoming the ultimate people or individuals that will fulfill whatever purpose God has destined for us. We can't rule that away. That's very important. So without the process, we can't have the desired outcome. So I will try to be as practical as I can. Like I mentioned when I was doing this post, I said we always try to see results happen overnight. No. So the process tells us that results, whatever it is that we want, do not happen overnight. Results happen over time. And that time is the time of process. Now, some life processes are defined. They have a defined path. You can predict it. Like I mentioned, you go to school, you want to become a pilot. So there are a career path you will follow. It's a process after this stage, that stage, that stage, that stage. However, the one that interests me the most is the path that is not defined. I like that. The process that is not defined. And that is where a good number of us, if not all of us in life, we always find ourselves in a path where we cannot define it. But when we understand that at any stage in life, whatever way things work out, most of the time, provided that we are not the cause of whatever thing we are fighting against, but even if we are, we can always find our way out of it. But if you look at it on a hindsight, we notice that it's part of the process. I think it was, what's his name? This Apple guy that died. What's his name? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, one of his lectures in Stanford many years back, he said sometimes It is by looking back that we can connect the dots. It's on a hindsight. So there are parts, the undefined parts. We cannot say it. But by the time you know it, say, hey, oh, could that be why I was in Abuja? Could that be why I was in Yola? Could that be why so and so things happen? So we'll be looking at that. So no experience that has happened or will happen to you or to me that will ever be wasted if we understand the way life functions. No experience. And no experience. I want us to take that. Now, a lot of us jumped too forward. I wrote here, in our desire to get to our destination, but we forget about the journey. The journey prepares us for the ultimate things if we can grab the experiences. The journey is where the magic lies. It's where the magic lies. The journey, life journey, life journey, life journey. I wish I can relate this with my personal experience. Let me see, in the course of this presentation. So I want us to note that the journey is where the magic lies. It's not just the destination. If you don't grab every element of what happens in your course of the journey to the path of destiny, we will not enjoy the destination. In fact, we even miss out the path of destination. Imagine that at the lava stage, you say, hey, I expected the butterfly to bloom. Come on, from egg to lava. Come on. Why is it not coming up? And you just forget that there's another stage, the pupa stage. Do you understand? So for some of us on this journey, some of us may be on the egg stage. Some of us may be on the lava stage. Some of us may be on the pupa stage. Some of us may be on the butterfly stage. Do you understand? So now, why life is interesting is we don't just emerge glorious at one point. It's one stage. Then another cycle begins that launches us to another level, another dimension. Some of us, I remember, we passed the WAEC. No, not WAEC. Common entrance. Common entrance wasn't the end of the game. After common entrance, we did junior WAEC or WAEC. After that, it continues. It continues. Okay, you say I'm B.Tech, B.Engine, B whatever. But that's not the end. You still do masters. You still do... You understand what I'm saying? So the cycle, it keeps moving until we become that ultimate person that God has designed for us. We can't rule it out. So I'm laying some good foundation so that when I'm running, we can gather all and put them together. You understand? So as a first step to knowing your destination is to commit to the roadmap. This point is very important. First, before you understand the process, you need to have a roadmap of what is it that I'm looking at. I mentioned the process, I mentioned the event or the desired outcome. What is my desired, what is it that I desire to see in my career life, in my personal life? That is the first you need to define. If we don't define it, it will be difficult for us to commit to the roadmap, which is the process that will lead us there. For instance, I'm in Lagos, I want to go to Ilori. I don't know if there's any other way you can get to Ilori, if not by flying. If you want to go by road without passing through Ibadan. I don't know for now. I don't know. Or maybe you are somewhere in Enugu and you say, hey, I want to get to Port Harcourt. And you are heading towards Makurdi. There's no way you can get to Port Harcourt. There is no way. There's no way. Even if you have all the magicians around you. No, you are heading in the wrong direction. So when we define and say, hey, I'm heading to this place. This is my destination. Now you look at the roadmap that will lead you there. Why? In your course of going from Lagos to Ibadan, and you encounter traffic along Bega, it will not discourage you. You know, it's part of the process. Do you get my point? So you relax. All you need to do is to calm yourself down at that point where there are traffics and all of those. It's not your end point. It's not your destination. Your destination is Ilori. Do you get? You've not gotten to Ibadan. Maybe you get to Ibadan, you're around the road, and the traffic is crazy. Will you say, hey, what is it that's happening? People have gone through that part. If they were able to get to their destination, maybe someone left before you, like yesterday, and say, hey, when are you coming? If they had gotten following that path, there is no way you will follow that path without getting to your destination. I don't know whether I'm making sense. And you see this process, like I said, this roadmap It's not something that you will outsource. You can't say, my mother, come and do it for me now. It is something you and I must commit to, except you want another. If another person does it, the person will become it. The person will become it. So anybody that follows the roadmap becomes what that journey is, the journey experiences turns that person into. I said the journey is where the magic lies. Okay, so why the process? Someone may ask, why the process? The process comes to make you and I become. Mark that word, become. There's something it comes to form in us, internally, externally, whatever it is. There is no way we can have the outcome. Like if we are passing through the stage as egg, as larva, as pupa, there is something that is happening within us, so that as a butterfly we shine forth, our glory blossoms. But if we don't become that, and it is the journey that makes us become that. I think I handled that in the course of this class. I'm trying to rush. So because it makes us to become, that is why we have to embrace it. So it's not against us. It's for us. So if you don't see it as something that is for you, you fight it. But when you see it as something that is for you, you embrace it. Okay, let's look at some of the mission of this process. It comes with a purpose. I said it has some missions. Like it comes to, like I said, make us become. It comes to shape us. It comes to fashion us. The process comes to fashion us. I want to relate it, but I want to lay the foundation here. It comes to build character in you, character in me. Do you get? You see, there are certain levels that we can't get to if we don't have character. There are certain levels. So, and there are certain levels when we get to without character, we will just collapse like a pack of cards. Now, two, the process comes to do what? Discipline us. It brings discipline. It disciplines our life, fashions our life so that we'll be so disciplined. Like people will wonder, wow, where is this person made? The process also comes to build capacity. I love that. It builds capacity. It helps us to build personal, whatever capacity we are looking at. Now, the process also gives us focus. You see, there are some of us that follow some paths in life. Now, we never knew how we landed here. But being here now shows us something that, there are, if you will turn your hand of time now with where and how we are, you are right now, there are certain courses in university you wouldn't have entered. There are certain parts you wouldn't have been to. Do you understand? Yeah. Like I said, like Steve Jobs talk, saying on the high side, we can relate. But because we don't know, that's why we have to embrace whatever comes with good heart. Every part of the journey is part of us. Let me relate to this. Like one of my friends was traveling at a particular time. So he said he had a delay. So, and a vehicle passed him. And to cut the long story short, that vehicle was attacked. Do you get? That vehicle, if he didn't have that delay, as at the time he had it, he probably would have joined among those that were attacked on the road. And we're not wishing those that were attacked well, but I'm just trying to relay something. So if you are traveling on the road to the path of your desired outcome, and there are some hitches, all you need to do is like, what lesson is this teaching me? What character is it building in me? What is it that is disciplining me? What is it forming into me? You understand? What is it forming in me? What is it shaping me into? What focus is it giving me? At that point, you might look at, this thing is necessary and this thing is not necessary. I think it makes us to focus on what really matters in life. Some of us at this stage, we don't even know. As young people, we don't even really know. But it is when we understand the path we want to follow, we'll be looking at the destination, like I said, it's very key. And then we start following it. It will help us to land there. Like now, we can have multiples of choices, and we don't even know. But the process forms the lifestyle because it has given us a focus to where we should follow to land there. I wrote here, I said, if you want to reach your desired destination, you need to embrace the process, no matter how difficult it is. It's not comfortable, though. It's not. But we have to embrace it. Now, someone will say, I embrace this process. I want to go to school. I wrote JAM 3 times. Personally, I wrote JAM 3 times. Not because I wasn't good. Yeah, the 2 places I wrote the JAMs, I never saw the result. It was the 3rd place. But I was like, what's happening? But it's on in hindsight that I noticed that the time I entered the university was the right time that I entered, because the people that the network I built are still the network that I'm using and working with, that has brought me to some of the places I am right now today. You get that? So imagine I was ahead, so I wouldn't have known. My life, I would have followed a different trajectory. But because it was the time. So let me say this at this point too. If we know how God works with us, the way life has been designed, we count it all joy. We'll say in scripture, but we'll say count it all joy. So you count it all joy. When you embrace it, you don't fight it. You don't see it like a punishment. Do you understand? Now you just embrace it, knowing that it is leading you to where you want to go. Now, one of the things that makes us to not embrace the process is fear. You know, I wrote, I said a lot of people don't like to trust the process because they fear that it is not going to lead them down the path that they want. You know, are you sure? Look at this guy. Are you sure? If they don't see the result fast enough, they get discouraged and may give up altogether. Do you get? You are the egg stage. You want to form into butterfly stage. Most of the time, it doesn't work like that. Understand the stage you are. Be patient enough to know that's another stage that may be harder. You understand? That means another stage that may also be harder. Maybe larva stage and the pupa stage may be harder. But the point is, the end result is sure. Now, we're talking about embracing the process. We don't just need to embrace the process. We should have faith in the process. Have faith. Have faith. Trust the process. Have faith in the process. Have faith. Have faith. Have faith in it. Trusting the process is about accepting whatever the outcome is along the journey. Have faith. A man called Robert Twill, he said, trust the process. You'll discover a lot about yourself through hardship. I won't say much about this.
Wow.
I'll be speaking some. I'll be keeping some things. You know, I was talking about how to work miracle. Like, you know, I started it at the beginning of this stage. There are 2 things. If you want to work miracle, I discovered it this year. Those 2 weapons that you need to work miracle in the course of your process or any journey you are in life, they are focus and consistency. With focus and consistency as your strong weapons, you can always work miracle. Focus. And remember, I mentioned that the process gives us what? Focus. We'll know things that matter. Like, you play back your life and say, there are things, even, am I saying January now? This is November. There are some choices you made in January with what you know now, you wouldn't have made them. Do you understand? And there are still choices you will make next year with what you have known now. You won't have made them. But with focus and consistency, the miracle is sure. So always get to know which parts of life, which destination do I want to head to? And what are the things that will take me there? In the journey to getting there, the point is you encounter difficulties. You encounter hardships. You encounter discouragements. But whatever it is, embrace it. Trust it. Have faith in it. I said the season of processing is usually the season of obscurity. I like that. They are your invisible moments. If someone looks at the egg and say, this one will become butterfly, put that sham. But the egg is the butterfly in the making. Time may pass and you look at the larva and say, this larva, this one. I want us to go and check the butterfly, the metamorphosis, the stages of metamorphosis of a butterfly. Look at it again. You look at larva, this one, will be butterfly. Wonder shall never end, as they say in Nigeria. But even in the pupa stage, but that is the season of what? Obscurity for that butterfly. It is its invisible moments. Someone says, he said, if you can handle your invisible moments, you will shine when God puts you on the stage of destiny. I will repeat that. Say, if you can handle your invisible moments, you will shine when God puts you on the stage of destiny. As the process is coming, you are catching up, like you are embracing, you are having faith in it. It is bringing you close to from your season of obscurity to your mounting to this on the stage of destiny. Wow. I'm skipping. Let me try to round up as much as I can because of time. You know, we mentioned that why people are afraid of embracing the process is, it's going to take long now. But let's see how we are going to accelerate the process. It doesn't necessarily need to take that long if we know how. Like I said, focus, consistency. So you can't focus without knowledge. So the first step to accelerating the process does not need to take years. Sometimes why it takes that long is because we are still trying to find our path to the journey. Do you get? So there are ways you can accelerate it, at least in this age where knowledge abounds. One is knowledge up. I said the process can be a hard, long ride, but knowledge can shorten your curve. Knowledge up on the path you want to follow. If you have more knowledge, like look at my life, look at your life. There are things you know now. If you knew in January this year, you would have done better this year. That is the truth. If there are things you know now, if you knew in September, there are steps you would have taken that would have brought you closer to your desired outcome than where you are right now. Do you understand? So knowledge helps you to make right choices as you navigate the paths. Knowledge. Maybe you are coming through that same traffic road, Beggar. Those that know that there is traffic in Beggar may follow Ikorodu and cut off and know that there is no traffic. I'm trying to be very practical here. So, but if we don't know, we still are head up on traffic, and it takes longer time for us to get to Ilori, like we use that as an analogy. Then the next thing we need to do is to skill up, knowledge up, skill up. If we don't have the right skills, it makes life difficult. It makes the journey longer. You understand? You know, talent and skill, but I'm using skill. And the interesting thing about skill is something that even if we are not born with it, we can acquire it. And in this age now, there is great demand for digital skills. Great demand. Can I give you a secret? The future is digital. So there is great demand for digital skills. The future is digital. Time shall come. I keep telling people that you want to buy akara on the street. You look for the app and look for whose own is ready. You can order for it. Quote me. I've been saying it for years. Before Gokada and Co came, I was telling one of my colleagues in one of the businesses I co-founded, I said, can we start something where instead of people going to bus stop and ordering for a bike, you can use an app and order for a bike? I was shocked when a friend told me that he ordered a bike using an app and went to Mushi. I can't remember. No, not Mushi again. Ladipo. I went to Ladipo. I said, really? What I was thinking like some years back. So that idea came. That means it's possible. So what I'm saying is, even if you are selling akara and you are not thinking digital, you're your own. No. What I'm saying is that skill up. If there's no any area, let me give you a tip. There are several ways on your journey to your destination, there are several skills you need to acquire. But above all, acquire digital skill. There is no industry now, you say it does not need digital skill. If the Akara seller can need digital skill, as I have said, you need digital skill too. Why? Like I said, the future is digital. The future is digital. Know that. Now, okay, let me pick one out of the other ones I have here. Relate up. You know, one of the challenges we have in life sometimes is we don't know how to relate. We don't know how to relate. When you have good relationship skill, it's part of the skill we're talking about. It shortens the curve. The process actually creates the event that others see as miracle. I want to round up now. Because most of us want to do want it sharp. We don't want to go through the process. Most of the time, you see, like they say, if you jump up, you come down, but if you grow up, you stay up. If we don't follow the path like every other person, we will always have what every other person will not have. I saw a quote somewhere. The quote mentioned some of the things, like I'm version here now, about the process, embracing the process, why people don't embrace the process, how to accelerate the process. 90%, 100% of us will listen to this, but they say only 5% will do it. If you're among the 5% that will do it, your life will stand out. As a young person, I've been there. I've been where I was confused in life. I needed a guide and a direction. But God helping me to know that if I can define the path I want to follow and then stick to it, acquiring the skill that will build me, relating with the right people that will grow me, getting the right knowledge that will accelerate whatever thing I'm doing, and having faith that that step I'm following will lead me to my destination. The end is sure. I want to stop here. Thank you very much for listening.
Wow.
Over to you.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Tony. I'm amazed and then I'm surprised. You know, within the short period, I felt like you have jam-packed the PowerPoint, and then within this short period, thank you very much, Mr. Tony. I'm really, really grateful. So before I ask the question, the question that was running through my mind while you were talking was what advice would you give to a young person? Now, let's put it this way. So let's say maybe a young person feels like I'm starting a new journey, and if I have to start this new journey, I have to do these things. And somehow they see these people who have done those things and they became where they were. And now it is not looking like people see where people are now, but they don't know what it did to get there. And they don't know why they can be consistent, why they can see results in their life is because of what they've had to go through and what they have done. And those people want those same desires, same results that they are seeing in other people's life. But somehow they are striving and they're struggling to even get to that side. So the point I'm trying to make is, so maybe I see you what you're doing and everything, and I see the way you're consistent, and I see the way your results are actually very showing. And I want to do it. So I try to do what you're doing, but then I just give up, I get tired. But I know that what you are doing or what you have done is what I'm meant to do to get your results. But I'm struggling. So the question is, how do young people do what would lead them to what they want to see in people's life without having to struggle? Or is it that they're not meant to do it, or they're meant to do it?
Okay, now that's where I mentioned knowledge. There are dimensions of this knowledge. One is if I'm going to a place I've not been before, and I happen to be with someone who has been there, I'm halfway there before the journey starts. So we need to identify men and women who have gone to the place you want to go to and relate with them. Make them your friend. You understand? Make them your friend. Get a mentor. Get someone who can mentor you
Mm.
remotely and all of that. So through men who have succeeded in the journey, they don't want some people to go through that hard times that they have gone to.
Mm.
You understand? My partner and I in our waste company, we have built businesses. We have built a business that was eight digits, and it crashed because of what we didn't do right. So sometimes if I have opportunity to talk to entrepreneurs, it's my personal story that I'm sharing with them. Do you understand? And a lot of them have learned a lot. So with the knowledge that someone who has gone there will impact in you, it gives you one thing, and that is patience. If you're not patient enough, you feel like I'm not getting the result. Many years ago, I was listening to a man. He said he had a nut to crack, and he hit that nut with a hammer, and he hit the first one, he hit the second one, he hit the third one. Now on the third one, the nut cracked. He asked, which of the aim parts cracked the nut? Someone who doesn't know will say the third one. But it's all the three aim parts combined. Do you understand? So what the young person needs to do is, there are men who have gone through the path they want to go to. If we can embrace them, learn from them, some of them have books we can read, you get, and try to apply whatever thing they have taught us with patience, the end result is guaranteed. That's my word.
Thank you very much, sir. Very, very cool. Thank you so much. So I think we need to answer. We need to ask. Okay, I think. Okay, let me ask her. She said. Why is starting a particular process a little bit difficult or challenging? I think maybe you answered it within the course of why you were answering.
Okay, you know the force of inertia. That's what we call the force of inertia. We taught in physics. You need to overcome the force of inertia. Like you want to push a car. That's life, order of life. You understand? You know why? You have not built capacity yet. Like someone would say, making your first million is the most difficult. You know why? You, at that point, by the time you make your first million, there is a man you have become. Take away that million from you. I don't know how to relate this. This is not a business class. So because the force of inertia is always there. However, with knowledge, not that it will not come. Not that it will not come. Now, I'm a promoter of accelerators and incubators in startups and all of that. However, there is a part of journey that you need to experience. It's just like a bet. No matter how a man loves the wife and all of that, you see that pain of childbirth, you get? But there's a way it can be easier. If you have somebody that will tell you the kind of diet, the kind of exercise, so the process will not be as difficult as when you don't know. So why it's always like that is, if someone has taught you, like, okay, you have identified the path, and he tells you, follow this path. Most of the time it can be helpful. However, sometimes we have individual unique journeys based on what God has designed for us. Do you get? So we can't write that on us. So because it takes too much effort to get a car that is stationary to move, that's why it's always difficult to initiate the process. But when you start, it is easier. You get? It can be easier, not it is easier. It can be easier. It can be easier because you know you have started. You look back and say, I wasn't here, even though I'm not there. But I'm not there. I'm not where I used to be. But that should give you faith and encouragement and there's faith and encouragement to make you trust the process so that you keep going, whatever the other hardship you experience on the way.
Wow.
I don't know if I answered that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so I think we've come to an end of this section, and what we're going to do right now is, before we allow a speaker leave, before we allow Mr. Tony leave, this is what we ask. Within few words, I don't want it to be boom like, but this is the question. You've had experience with different people, you've related with different people, you've worked with different sectors. And one of the reasons why we have this section is to actually help young people, especially in Africa, and especially people from Africa, especially young Africans, most especially. What advice would you give, in few words, what advice would you give to young people with the experiences you've had over time in different sectors you work in, different things you're freelancing? What's that word, or two or more, four or three words that you can tell young people about that they should know at this point in their life?
At this point, for one of the confusions that happens to young people, happens to some of us, is we don't even know what we want most of the times. You know, some people say, music is raining, comedy is this, career is that. Know what you want. Don't just minimize peer pressure as much as you can. Minimize external influences. Even though we follow some people, they are still deep within us. There's something that's telling us that this is the path we should follow. This is the path. It's telling is within us. So if we can identify what we want, give it your all. Whatever it is, give it your all. Giving it your all will require getting people who will help you on that path, getting knowledge that will help you, getting skills that will help you. The end point is guaranteed. Like I've said it is guaranteed. You know, I read geology in Federal University of Technology, Owerri. So my project was in SPDC in Shell when softwares for geological softwares were not very common. I had that experience. So I had opportunity to work in oil and gas, but deep within me, I knew this is not really my path. You understand? So a lot of people felt that, what's wrong with this young man? But if I look back right now, I'll say, thank God, I made the right choice. You understand? So I'm not saying we shouldn't, whatever thing we are, but deep within us, there's always a calling. There's always a calling. When you identify that path, whatever it will take you, give it your all.
Wow. Thank you.
It may, with the knowledge of accelerating the process, it may not take you that long as it should, but even if it does, don't worry yourself. Just relax. Don't worry.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Tony. Very, very grateful. So I think we have one person live, and I think she said thank you already. So before we let Mr. Tony go, let's just say thank you. And Rosie, let's just say thank you to Mr. Tony before he leaves. Thank you so much, Mr. So, thank you.
Thank you, Miracle, for having me.
Thank you so much.
Right now.
So we're waiting for thank you before we let you go. Let's see one thank you before we go. I'm waiting, Rosie.
It's enough now.
I need to say one thank you before he goes. But waiting, okay, Instagram is telling you, so I think, okay, very good. She said it. So, thank you very much, Mr. Tony. Thank you very, very much.
All right, thanks.
Okay, sir, bye, sir.
God bless you. Thanks for having me. All right, bye-bye.